Hello and welcome to the Casuals final tournament, 6 casual tournament. We are here with I am Carlos, Malontel, Morgan and Joyful Rogue. If Morgan and Joyful Rogue either player wins, the event, the tournament will be over with the golden prize going to those two players. If other players win, we'll have 1 or 2 more games. I am Lahi and casting with me is Kat. What do you think about this map?
Hi. It's a very interesting map. It's a map I'd hate to play on. The prices are really awkward. Kind of makes you want to go nomad, but there's no silicon. So I think we might get a robot game here.
One thing to notice is that this is we have high power price, and as always on IO, power consumption is a thing. So people will have to make a plan to build power. Robot will always have easy access to efficient power with double basalt platform and a nuclear plant. Scientific will have difficulty if they do not found near basalt. And let's see what the other HQs. What do you think about Joyful Rogue's found?
I'm not sold on it. Like, I see what he's doing. I think I'd rather see the robot next to the basalt, and then you can obviously get your iron and uranium there, rather than building next to the actual normal uranium and iron.
Yeah, basalt is really strong. You can't ignore it. And Morgan going with double basalt platform, triple steel. This is going to contribute to power a lot, but as steel user, they need to make this steel to build power. So I wonder who is going to make power first, because power is already rising 100 and more.
Yeah, I'm looking at Carl's. I really like Carl's down here. Set up really nicely for power. He's got the basalt as a robot. He's also got the nearby geo.
The black market is on.
Exactly.
He's ready to go straight into it.
Right, just waiting for steel, and they have 2 claims left. Malontel is going for iron collectors. Iron collector is also a good building to make some money, but it also, as well as steel mill, consume a lot of power, so you have to watch out on that.
Yeah, I think Montel's gonna have some huge problems going this way. I think Morgan was very on top of it in the first game, sort of getting that power nice to early elite. I don't expect him to mess up again. I think he will be on top of that power price. I think the robots will also want it. I think Montel will be kind of left behind after the power price already dies and he's taken on massive amounts of debt.
Power already going to 170, rising. I believe it's going to peak at 300, maybe. I don't know. Malontel scrapping the iron collector, says, "Oh, this I can't have so much power consumption," and goes right into nuclear plant with 18k debt. I think it is manageable to get power money if nobody else has the same plan, and it looks like people are all making some kind of power.
Yeah, everyone's going to power now. We have the Geo we talked about from Carl. We have Morgan doing double nuclear plant again, and the same from Joyful Rogue. So I think everyone's probably just going to miss out on the power money.
Yeah. That's what happens when everyone knows what they're doing with their power.
Yeah, one downside is because of how Mantel built, he obviously built the nuclear plants where the iron collectors were, which are ice. He's not going to get that scientific bonus. He's going to be paying uranium as well, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. Compared to Joyful Rogue, who went into HQ3 and then went into power. Oh, this hurts for Joyful Rogue. To continue my thought, Malontel stayed at HQ2 and switched to power, so Malontel is a tempo late because Malontel is down 3 claims, and Joyful Rogue can have extra claims to work with something else. For example, this solar panel will supplement this power issue. But
yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
But that said, Malontel is the first person to get power money and therefore aiding the upgrade.
Yeah, it's still quite a healthy power price as well. I'm quite surprised he's got it, but that's really good for him. We saw Morgan attack Joyful Rogue, in an attempt to get his own power, Morgan's actually building a third nuclear plant, which looks like he's changed his mind. Which I think was very smart. You can see the power price is going to crash very soon, so investing into that third nuclear plant is a bit unnecessary here.
The black market is online.
And we are seeing a fight between Morgan and Malonto, EMPing each other. Because they know that they are the one who are making power money, and they know that they want to stop it.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Carl's with that robot sneaking in the corner is just getting a tiny bit of power money now, so slowly creeping ahead maybe. Morgan unfortunately has, because everyone got to power just in time, Morgan stalled an NHQ2, which is a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Joyful Rogue racing on to the first HQ4 of the game. This is the HQ that people should look at lucrative final product markets. Cam will be a good one, and glass will be a good one. Cam because people will start consuming cam as soon as they go to HQ4 or so. I wonder what Joyful Rogue is going to use these claims, 3 claims for. They are going for nowhere at the moment.
Yeah. He's also replaced two claims on the cliff. He's gone for 2 oxygen there, I think it is.
Alright. Oxygen, I don't agree with oxygen because there's also chemical as well. They could also have gone for like 1 or 2 ion collectors and some chem and prepare to optimize. Like, you don't need 4 steel when steel is 69. They can recycle one of these for optimization center.
Yeah, I think he might be going for iron collectors on the cliff there. It's not possible he can do what you said. If he does, he could stick a single chem refinery by the nuclear plant, or maybe rotate 1 steel and get like a pair of chem refineries as well.
Yeah, that also works. EMP on glass from Malonto. Malonto is also the person who is making glass using a scientific bonus on ice patch, getting oxygen for free and consuming silicon.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. I know you get free oxygen, everyone likes free stuff, but I think you really want the glass kilns on sort of on the silicon or the basalt most of the time, which again is just another small drawback that is found by Malonto.
Yeah. Scientific loves basalt. Every robotic or every steel users love basalt. Basalt gives you all kinds of resources. The mother IO provides you.
Yeah, actually quite like what I'm seeing from Cal's here. I think he's got a nice little robot base going on. He's got the 2C with the basalt with a nice nuclear plant getting a bonus. He's got the geotherm powering up the glass kilns. Just making everything needs to be. The only thing is missing is chems, which could actually go next to some iron collectors he has as well.
Now getting hit by Morgan on the power complex. This is sad times for I'm Carl's.
Yeah, hurts a little bit, but with power at 40, I'm not too concerned. And there he goes, he builds that chem refinery, or he did for a second. Yeah, the chem refinery next to the iron collectors, which again, I really like this as well.
The first chem refinery going down from I'm Carl's, and on Morgan's chem refinery just got finished, and this is going to make a lot of money, and Morgan needs to start optimizing those because elites and it's a good market.
Yeah. What do you think of what Joyful Rogue's doing here? I know you once coined the artist of Aya, so with the little the water processors next to oxygen and next to the iron collector. Do you think this is useful, or do you think it's a bit too cute for you?
Yeah, I mean it can be okay. It discourages people from EMPing your base, encouraging people to pirate your stuff. I think this is workable as long as they don't want to rotate these buildings a lot. The problem is water is often one of the buildings people want to rotate often. So I don't fully agree with this. I like to have water next to the base so that this power adjacency can be used on other production buildings as well.
Yeah, as I mentioned, that it's actually going for another little oxygen water triangle just northeast of the base as well.
Yeah, this is so unflexible that if the market changes, this is going to bite Joyful Rogue later.
Yeah, I think 2 oxygen's probably fine for Robot most of the time as well.
Agreed.
Because you don't have that that life support to cover. So Carl's is first into the optimization center and the pattern lab, so he's looking really good to fly ahead. And I like Carl's setup so much better now. So the 2 chem refineries, the 2 iron collectors, the water and the farms all nicely together there. On the other side you have glass, power, steel.
Oh, with adjacency. Very nice. I like this kind of robot over the other remote robots. Although Joyful Rogue did fix the disconnected issue by connecting those solar condensers using a farm, but it makes it more susceptible to EMPs.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I would have actually liked him to connect his nuclear plants to the other oxygen, and then sort of taking out the pirates on the way as well, just to build over it.
Yeah, that is also a good line of play. EMP on Morgan's base, attacking the profitable chemical refiners, but Morgan does have another chemical refiners up, so it does not shut him down entirely.
Yeah, I think Morgan's going very under the radar here, doing the very elite thing. The one concern is he doesn't have an optimization center just yet.
Yeah, Morgan needs an optimization center. With these prices, it's going to pay a lot. And another thing to mention is that Morgan did build a Pleasure Dome, but because this is Io, the planet where not many people happen to live in, and also with 2 robots and a scientific, Pleasure Dome is not going to make much money, but also because it's not going to make much money, people are not going to compete in it, so it's an okay building, but not as good as it can be in other cases.
Yeah, I think fine is not the nice way to put it. So Morgan's going, water now. I really want to see an optimization center from him.
Yeah.
Looks like he does have the upgrade now, so he's probably going to get the optimization center. Probably 2 optimization centers if I know Morgan.
Sulfur Frost hitting in 6 seconds. And I don't like... I hate Sulfur Frost. It just doesn't make me warnings.
Yeah, really bad time to upgrade, unfortunately, for Morgan.
Yeah. It's going to take forever to build. Place these claims and start producing anything.
Yeah, so Cards is sort of continuing just on his trajectory. Joyful Rogue's been a bit greedy going to optimization center, trying to jump ahead. He's actually recycled something claims. He's talking about the 4th steel. And that random water tile as well, just in optimization center.
Very good. Going to double optimization center ahead of everyone else. Has optimized 1 and has just started it basically. Other players, I Am Carlos has been in optimization center for a longer time. Already has finished 3 of them on oxygen, carbon, and chemical. I like these choices, although I would like to see more chemical than this input resources.
What do you think about this space elevator from Carl?
Space elevator, the space elevator price is very low, so I don't think this is going to pay off unless it was very cheap. But it was not a cheap elevator. It would have costed like 70k to build, and that means you have to launch 4 times. Not good. You need to optimize it.
I think it will pay for itself, but I think I would rather be an optimization center.
Yeah.
Now, Carlos is starting the aggression on the elite. I'm not sure how I feel about this. An elite is always a nice target. Their elite's still going to be a good sub, but I don't think he's far enough ahead to be aggressive here. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, right now it is... I would go for Joyful Rogue purely because they have double optimization center. I like the fine person with optimization center. But who knows, Elite might have a lot of advantages by the time the buy finishes.
Yeah, so let's look at Morgan. He's going for full chemicals, as most leads do. So if he finishes that that fourth optimization just as Carl's buys, then that'd be very nice.
The black
Okay,
market is open
so
for
this
business.
is about in this situation. This is about time for other players who started getting some bunch of money in their bank and move it into stock actions. For example, I am Carl's stock is open, and I am Carl's is going to get much more valuable as if they finish the buy. So it's a nice idea to have 1 or 2 stocks in I am Carl's for other players, so that even if I am Carl's finishes the buy, they do have some comeback, and they also share the stocks.
Yeah, I would fully expect Joyful Rogue to take that line of player. I just assume he's going to be very greedy with optimizations as much as he can. And right before Carl's is about to finish the buy, he will buy that stock. So this aluminium tile, it's okay. It helps elevators, but as we talked about before, elevators are not amazing.
It's getting
Probably
better.
not worth bidding too much.
It's getting better. So 28k is an okay price for very high, I think.
Yeah, I guess Carl's is very much in the space elevator game plan, so him getting the aluminium makes sense.
Space elevator.
There you go, Joyful Rogue going to Carl's as I had predicted.
Very good stock move.
The engineers have advanced our production.
I would have maybe liked to see him buy 1 or 2 of his own stock first, and then buy into Carl's. Just
Yeah.
defense it a little bit.
Fortunately for Joyful Rogue, Malonte is not that rich to make such a move.
Yeah, if he only ever Morgan, he would do it. And I don't think it's in Morgan's best interest. I think Morgan wants Carl's to sell out of him and buy into Joyful Rogue, and then he can defend his own stuff.
Yep.
That might be what happens. I don't think Carl's can realistically buy Morgan and then fight Joyful Rogue. He probably has to like commit fully to Joyful Rogue here.
Pirates. I hate those filthy bandits. Elevator. Going.
Looks like Morgan is catching up on I'm Carl's in money. Yeah, I'm Carl's does not seem to have production advantage anymore.
Yeah, tried a bit too much too early. I think that space elevator really cost him.
Yep.
Just have a nice chemical stockpile there. At least he did until a second ago, which he just sold.
The black market is online.
I'm Carl's will need another about 200k more to finish by Morgan. Morgan will need 400k to finish I'm Carl's. In the meanwhile, Joyful Rogue is going to be hoarding money to make a move when something happens.
The black
Yeah,
market
so
is
I think Morgan is almost out of this. Carl seems very committed
Black
here.
market is open for business.
Something to
Yeah.
mention, there's something to mention that everybody is making not enough carbon. The carbon price is rising and it's not going to go down. Where's all the carbon?
Carbon was very
Let's continue to improve.
carbon was very scarce to begin with. I think everyone basically took 1 carbon claim each, and that's about all they got.
Yeah, there is one way to fix it. People can
The black market is online.
use core samples, but because there is no auction tile or no bribe claims, people cannot. It is not easy to use the core sample and get extra carbon out of it. But if the colony gives you 1 claim, or Morgan does have 1 claim, they will be able to get extra carbon. Although Morgan's carbon is in a small crater where you cannot core sample the resources nearby.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Carl's is the exact same situation as well. They both have their
Oh,
carbon
no.
in craters. They can't get any reason.
That's just something to consider.
Trading would also do the same as well, if anybody picked that patent up.
Okay, Carlos is about to finish buy in Morgan. 96 seconds. I know, 96%.
Yeah, I'd like to see Joyful Rogue start buying into the rest of Carl's stock now as well.
When the buy is imminent, you need to finish the stock before it's done. And Morgan is making the right move, selling out of Iron Carls, making himself less tasty, and making room for other people to threaten them more. But this buy is inevitable, and people need to fill in the stock before Iron Carls succeeds in defending.
Yeah,
and they did.
So, yeah, good job. Nice stock play, I think, overall. So the question is, how do you proceed from here? Joyful Rogue, how's optimization? I think Joyful Rogue and Carls are fairly even, although that elevator from Carls is going to start paying off about now as the markets do crash.
Now elevator launch price is pretty good, although oxygen is better than water launch, so that's one thing to look for. And I wouldn't mind seeing a second elevator at this point if you have been gathering some aluminium. Has anyone been gathering aluminium? Not really. Joyful Rogue does have 400s. I think it's worth it to build now.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a game of chicken with the elevators, because everyone knows, they should know it now, we need elevators. And you look at the aluminium price, like, I can't, that's too expensive, I can't pay that. I'll wait till I get it in. But if somebody buys it before you, the price just goes up even higher.
Yeah.
So I think Carls is in an excellent spot now because of that early elevator.
So it looks like everyone is in single aluminium, which means nobody is going to have stockpile. So you don't have to be afraid too much about spiking the price too much and then giving all the money to someone else. Because they don't have it, they have not been producing it. There's no way they can have like 1,000 stockpile at this point.
Yeah, interesting that Joyful Rogue's selling out of Carls. I think that's an invitation for Malantel to help the split buy, which is quite a nice move.
The engineers have advanced our production.
Okay, Carls with 2 elevators is going to launch 52k. Very profitable space elevators, making $862 per second. I don't know what other players can do to catch up because the market is dying. Like when we look at Joyful Rogue space, the farms are making like 20, and like fuel is dead.
Is about the same as the elevator.
Yeah. This is not going to get you there, for sure. Let's look at Malonto. Electronics is not making much money because carbon and silicon is so expensive, and this scientific electronics factory is not getting any benefit. I wouldn't mind using some core samples just in case they beat the 66% and get some kind of resource they can use on.
Yeah. Worth noting that Carls did actually do just what you said earlier and used his 2 claims of Morgan on 2 more carbon tiles, which again is just insane. If you look in the southwest, it's basically Pirate Central down there because everyone's that car.
Yep, definitely. And my connecting storm as well.
very nice by Joyful Rogue, a very underrated black market item.
Optimization routines successful. Price manipulations to begin shortly.
So Joyful Rogue does have the first elevator spied of Carls, but hasn't actually spotted the second one, which again I think these players probably scratching their heads right now, wondering why Carls are jumping so far ahead, and it's that second elevator that's hidden down there. It's really doing it. One thing Mantel's doing as well is hacking aluminium down, which is again another very underrated thing you can do. So he's going to crash the aluminium price to try and get elevators. So Joyful Rogue selling last stock of Carls, let Mantel buy in.
I'm not sure if this is going to work. Malonto is not making much money. Like the only income from Malanto is this carbon, and this is this 1.75 carbon, occasionally blowing up due to magnetic zones. I don't think Malanto is going to get there. And yeah, and Carlos finishes the buy, so it's a matter of time before he finishes by a Malanto, and we will have a fourth game if that's the case.
One thing Molintel can do is sort of his stock now, get an extra 170k from that. It will help a little bit to get there, but I don't think he's going to reach that 740k he needs. He'll probably make about 500 before the game ends. And Carl's just going to make a ton of sub money here. Actually, the subs say I'm not good. That's the fair point. Because the subs don't have Offworlds, they're not going to make much money. But Carl's 2 Offworlds do enough, I think.
So, can we comment on why we are having these like dead factories everywhere, auto off, the situations where even the market's depressing and only the primary markets are the thing that's making money, or the off-road?
Prepare for pending market
Yeah,
adjustments.
yeah. This is basically a world of optimizations where when you optimize everything, eventually you just make so much more than the whole colony and everyone else consumes, and it's just a case of people haven't taken enough sort of what do you call it, natural resource claims and carbon to actually do this. So yeah, it's kind of happens a lot in high level games. I think people rush optimizations and it's just too much for the economy to handle.
Yeah, exactly. In those cases, the only thing that makes resources is one, either everyone forgot to claim extra resource of something and have a deficit. For example, carbon was the case, but people started fixing it by optimizing it aggressively or cross-sampling it. Or Pleasure Dome gives you constant money, now making 404 with the colony growth, making nice money. And Space Elevator, excellent source of money always in the late game when the prices die in another Earth. And we got a red button from my own Carlos, and he takes the buy.
Yep, very nicely done by Carls. That Offworld I heavily criticised earlier on paid off quite a lot.